Welcome to the What the Shuck podcast. We are coming to you from the Nighbert residence. Thank you, Amanda, for having us.
Thanks for letting me be here.
Today, I'm having on Miss Amanda Nighbert, and as you all probably know her, she is one of the coolest people on the internet as far as for dietitian work and trying to get you fit and healthy while also throwing a little cool spin on it. So I really appreciate her because all the people that she's helped in Kentucky, including my mom, including myself, and including a lot of other people, and I just really appreciate you, so I wanted to bring her on. This is not the first time that she's been on. She's actually been on, this will be the third time she's been on a What the Shuck production. We did a production on Instagram Live, and also on, you're actually my second or third guest, second guest on the What the Shuck podcast, so thank you for coming on again.
Love it.
Also, Hunter, her husband, has been featured, so the Nighberts are an awesome alumni of the What the Shuck podcast, and I appreciate you all so much. But today, we are coming to you all from their house. We're going to be talking a little bit about cocktails and also how to stay healthy during the holidays while also being combative against Corona. So I'm really excited about this episode and everything that we're going to do. But without further introduction, Miss Amanda Nighbert.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here. And I'm excited to talk about a popular topic, which is alcohol. With the holidays coming up, a lot of people are going to be indulging in adult beverages a little bit more. And I think the more that you understand how alcohol impacts your overall health and wellness, I think the better choices that you can make. So, what is your stance on alcohol with regards to your personal consumption throughout the week?
I do tend to have a few craft beers throughout the week, and it being where I'm in Eastern Kentucky now, that's where I usually have a couple of those on maybe Saturday or a couple of those on Friday night. And used to, it was a lot worse, but I have learned to be disciplined with that. And, hold on, still going. But as I've gotten further into my journey, I have really made sure that it's important that I learn about the importance of not over-consuming something. Yeah. So whether it's food, whether it's alcohol, whether it's exercise, or whether it's rest. So just learning to have that balance and being like, all right, I'm not going to have 20 beers this weekend, something I did in college, which got me to where I was, versus being like, I'm going to have like 4 drinks this weekend, and that'll be it. So just...
Yeah, and I really think like in this time, we're kind of post-COVID, we're still in the midst of it, but a lot of people have used alcohol, I think, more frequently through quarantine and things like that, and it's kind of catching up with them. And I think that I know for me, when we were kind of locked up in quarantine, it was hard to differentiate between a Tuesday and a Friday. It felt like every night was a Friday because there wasn't those same responsibilities of getting up and going to work and things like that. So it's always a good time to kind of take a step back and look at alcohol. So alcohol is actually the 4th macronutrient. I don't know if you knew that. So macronutrients, a lot of people call them macros, is short for, it basically stands for carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and alcohol is the 4th macronutrient. So there's actually 7 calories per gram of alcohol versus 4 calories for carbohydrates and proteins per gram versus 9 calories per gram of fat. And really the way the body has the ability to store alcohol, which it doesn't because it's a toxin, versus its ability to store carbohydrates, proteins, and fats is how alcohol really impacts your metabolism. So a lot of people will say alcohol slows down your metabolism. Well, I'm the bearer of bad news, and that is true. Alcohol does slow down your metabolism, and because it has to do with that metabolic capacity. So if you sit down, the easiest way I can explain it is if you sit down to chicken, broccoli, and a glass of water, the minute you're done eating, your body's going to start to break down and metabolize the chicken and broccoli. But when you sit down to chicken, broccoli, and say a glass of wine or a craft beer, the minute you're done eating, the body's going to store the chicken and broccoli while it works to break down and metabolize the alcohol because there's no storage form of alcohol in the body. So, and it can take 4 to 6 hours to break down alcohol. So you kind of lose 4 to 6 hours of digestion, metabolism when you're consuming alcohol. So I always say,
that's crazy.
A lot of, and I talk for women because I'm one of them, a lot of women like to have a glass of wine as they're cooking dinner every night. And it's just one glass. Well, in reality, it's two because we like a big pour. We
True.
don't like a 4-ounce pour. We like an 8-ounce pour. So it's probably the equivalent of 2 glasses of wine. And we really don't think it's that significant. But over time, consuming a little bit of alcohol every day can really impact your weight loss goals. Mm-hmm. So I always say if weight loss, is your goal that you're working towards, it's best to limit alcohol to once or twice a week, kind of like what you're doing. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, I am not a teetotaler. If I don't find balance in my life, if I say I'm not going to drink alcohol forever, well, that's not going to work. Because,
Totally, yeah.
It's just not going to fit my lifestyle. And a lot of people will go all in and get rid of alcohol completely and see great progress and then not know how to add it back to create that balance. So today we're going to share a couple of my favorite kind of low calorie, low macro cocktails that you can kind of maybe consume over the holidays.
Yes, and that is so important because like we talked about, as people are on their journey for weight loss, whatever system, whatever program they're using, it is so important that you find one that works for you.
Yeah.
So in order to maintain this longevity, it's important to have systems in place that allow you to have a drink from time to time or allow you to have whatever it is that you find balance or find fun in, sometimes with food. I've really found that I myself, if I eat clean, about 85 to 90 range is when I really, really function the best. I mean, obviously, if I would do the 100%, but then there's like a mental thing, and it's like I just find that I overall flow the best when I'm not balanced or not disciplined, but just like it's just having a system that works to ensure that I'm healthy long term. So,
yeah. And it's breaking that all or nothing mindset.
Mm-hmm. We've talked about that many times.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the number one thing that I really strive for my clients in my signature program, Lean, is like, if you live in that on-off switch where you're completely on or you're completely off, then you're going to live on that diet roller coaster, and you'll never find that balance. So it's all about the moderation. All right, so one of my favorite drinks is a Moscow Mule. I mean, you know all about a Moscow Mule.
Love a good mule. Not a big vodka guy, but love a good mule.
Yeah, okay. So, and a lot of people don't realize Moscow Mules are kind of high in sugar. Mm-hmm. And it has to do with the ginger beer. So, one of the nice switches that you can make, do you know what a traditional Moscow Mule recipe is?
The one that I would think of would be we would use a actual ginger beer that we made in house when I worked at West Main Craft Company, and so we would do that. We would use a few dashes of our house-made bitters, and then we would use a base spirit, and it was pretty simple, but the ingredients that went into the ginger beer that they made in house was pretty intense.
Yeah.
So I can't myself tell you what we did on that, but it's probably it was pretty intense, but...
Yeah. And so basically, a Moscow Mule will include typically some vodka. I've got some great, I love this Ocean's vodka. Some soda, some ginger beer. And so here's really the trick to making this a little bit lighter. So typical ginger beer is going to be about 80 calories. So I have a traditional kind of ginger beer here. And this one has, for the whole can, it's got 80 calories and it's got 20 grams of sugar. Mm-hmm. So it's really high in sugar. Whereas if you find a light version, so I got this version in a light and it's half the calories. So it's only 40 calories and it's only 10 grams of sugar. And we're not even going to use the whole can. We're probably going to use about half of it. Mm-hmm. So beyond the vodka, which is going to give us about 100 calories per ounce and a half, and that you've got to drink for, right around 100 calories. Mm-hmm. So super easy to do. So I just started out, you got to have like this little copper mug to make it. That. Yeah, it's very fancy. And then I'm going to start with my vodka, and I'm going to do just about an ounce of that, maybe a little bit more. It just depends on
the family situation during the
like.
holidays.
Yes, exactly.
You needed a strong drink, you can go with 2 ounces.
Exactly.
It's going to make the calories go up.
I've got some fresh lime that I'm going to squeeze in here, just to give it just that little extra zing in there. And so you can I'm just going to squeeze these right in. Just make it super easy. And then I've got some lime LaCroix. So I love club soda. Mm-hmm. I love a sparkling water. It's another great strategy to help cut back on the amount of alcohol you drink. So I used to go to bars and say, can I get a vodka double soda? Mm-hmm. And I'd always be like, are you looking at me? I said vodka double soda, not double vodka. But then somebody told me to order a vodka soda tall. Is that the same thing? Would the bartender know to not make it a double vodka?
It just depends. Usually if someone just says a double tall, like it's depending upon what the glassware at the bar is.
Yeah. Honestly. Okay, so you might be careful with that. But someone says order a vodka soda tall, and they put it in a tall glass with more soda. I don't know about you guys, but when I have these little tiny glasses, like I drink them in 5 minutes. I think there's a trick, like bars do that for a reason.
Well, so the misconception that's kind of funny is actually a lot of times the glasses that are that size are going to be about the same size as a highball glass that we use at the bar that I worked at. It's not always going to necessarily be like that. This one probably looks like it would be a little bit bigger.
A little bit bigger.
Yeah,
okay, so it's just more of like tall and skinny versus wide and fat.
A lot of times the difference of the ounce in the glass just is dependent upon. Like, it's not really that big of a difference between that and like a highball or highball.
See, I gotta quiz the bartender so I can figure that out. Okay, so give that a try. Tell me what you think. So this is a skinny Moscow Mule. I think it's very.
One drink, everyone knows the rules.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really good, actually.
It's real refreshing.
And that's the important thing, especially during the holidays. You need something that's going to relax you a little bit.
And what I love about this is you can sprinkle some like cranberries in it, and it makes it like super festive. So that's really easy. Another low-calorie drink that I love is ranch water.
Okay.
Have you heard about ranch water?
I don't know about ranch water. I'm actually really excited to hear about this.
Oh, well, I love this Topo Chico.
Okay.
Is that how you say it?
I don't know. Chico. I've never even heard of it.
Okay, so this is a carbonated mineral water, and it's really good. Let me grab my bottle opener here. And I don't know, there's just something different about it. It's got a little bit more of a, here, I'll let you try a little bit of it. It's just a little bit sweeter. It's still 0 calories.
Okay.
A little bit sweeter. I don't know. Not as like zingy. Anyway, we call it ranch water. So basically all it is some ice. This one's really simple.
So I've really found that as a lot of people want to transition from a drink that they have, a lot of people drink soda or pop, whatever you call it.
Soda, yeah, exactly.
So LaCroix or things like this have really helped me, or in my own personal experience, to find vices. Or different, not vice, but just a different alternative to the vice of soda or drinking a pop. I'm like, I'm going to drink a Coke with this. I'm like, this is a lot better, I feel like. I don't know, but...
No, it definitely is. I don't know if you've heard of the brand Zevia.
I think I have, yes.
It's kind of like a soda brand that's sweetened with stevia.
Okay.
So they have like root beer, cola,
is
orange
it at Whole
soda.
Foods?
It's at Whole Foods.
Yeah, definitely.
Even Kroger sells some of it. Okay, so this is... Again, super simple. It's, like I said, and this Topo Chico, they have a lime version and they have a grapefruit version.
Okay.
And I know this kind of looks like a vodka soda, but I feel like this just has like a different flavor to it. Yeah. So give that one a try.
Okay.
Ranch
And can
water.
I get another one of these?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So we can make your, because I've...
So, especially... when I wasn't working out as often, initially, I found that it's very, very important that you have a drink that is not high in calories. So it's really important to have something like this. Now that I am working out and I am being more cautious of my dietary habits, I can splurge a little bit more and have a cocktail, or like a really nice fattening cocktail or craft beer.
Yeah,
yes.
And that's the thing, when we're talking about macros and calories with regards to alcohol, like I said, all your alcohol, all your spirits are 0 carbs, 0 fat, and 0 protein, because alcohol is the macronutrient. So it's only calories. It's really what you mix with it. So if it's a bourbon and Coke, then you're going to get about 100 calories from the bourbon, and then you're going to get all the extra impact from the Coke. But if you just do a bourbon and Diet Coke, then it's just the impact from the bourbon. So that's why things like, obviously, like margaritas and pina coladas, lagers, heavier beers are
I
going
like
to have.
sours. They're really fat, or they're really high in calories.
I love, what's the grapefruit beer?
Stigler or Stiegler.
The Stiegler.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think they're Rattlers. I think is actually
Rattlers. There it is.
Style.
Yeah, Rattlers. I love a Rattler, and it is not macro friendly, so for sure.
I love West 6 and Ethereal's sours. I don't know if you've ever liked sour beers or tried them. Thank you all for those. They changed my life.
I'm gonna have to try them for
Yes.
sure.
But for me, I have a cocktail from West Main Craft Company. So they do a pretty cool program there. They do a bottle cocktail program that they started doing after COVID-19 to accommodate people that couldn't come in.
Right.
So they were being very conscious of the people that are very important to them and that couldn't still make it into the actual bar.
Right.
So they're like, how do we still get people that want to have their drinks and things like that? I don't work there anymore, but as you can tell, I still love that place. They have provided me with this French 75 prescription style drink. So French 75 is a pretty interesting cocktail, but the one that we have here is going to be, it's going to be made with gin and then also oleosaccharum, and then they use a white wine. Usually you would use a champagne, but I'm going to shake this up a little bit. All you got to do is serve it chilled, and I'm going to get this garnished real quick. Shake it up right now.
Make it look pretty. It look pretty. That's the other thing. I do love wine. I love a white wine. I will make like a spritzer where I mix the white wine with soda. And it's really good. Again, I think club soda is anything like soda, LaCroix is the key to kind of, reducing the calories in your cocktail.
Yeah.
It just kind of fills the void when you are drinking so much. I don't know what it is. It's like I drink twice as much when I'm at a party, standing around with a cocktail in my hand, those kinds of things.
I interestingly heard a quote once that talked about like removing the alcohol from a party and like everyone will go crazy. And I was like, that's really weird, but it's like sadly true. Like it's very important to the social dynamic of a party.
Yeah.
If you don't bring it, I don't know what that says about our society, but might say something. But
and I refer back to my clients in my lean program, Living Energized and Nourished, and I actually had a gal reach out to me and said, and this is something for you guys to consider. She's like, I wish that my friends and family would be more supportive about my goals to drink less. I feel like when I'm at an event or a party with them and I decline alcohol because it doesn't make me feel good, it's not helping me reach my goals, that I get the bad looks.
Yeah.
Don't be a party pooper. We'll just, one. And that really kind of hit me. And so one of the things that I think we could all do is encourage.
Hello, new friend.
What are you doing?
This is Olaf, right?
Olaf the kitty.
Olaf the kitty has now made the main entrance of all What the Shuck podcast.
One's a cocktail. But I think it's interesting. Like if you have a friend or a family member that you offer a cocktail to.
Do you have another glass actually?
Yeah. Here, this is the one that.
I will use that one then.
Yes, perfect. That's declining alcohol. Like encourage them. Be like, good for you.
Yes, exactly.
Great job, because
today we're not doing that though. Sorry, folks.
We're
actually doing the opposite. So the beautiful thing about these cocktails that we have here from West Main is that they serve two. So we will both be having one of these. I'm really excited. Have you ever had a French 75?
No, I'm not.
So do you like gin?
I'll drink it. I'll drink anything. I'm not a bourbon girl.
So I think we've talked about this. That's very sad in my heart. But this one,
I like good bourbon. I like to sip good bourbon, but I'm not a big bourbon like cocktail.
Yes.
My husband takes care of all the dark liquor.
Yes.
So I take care of all.
So do you don't like rum either?
I do like rum. More in like a very fruity cocktail on the beach type
like
of
a
thing.
tiki cell.
Yes, exactly. But no, I don't mind. I don't mind rum as much.
Have you ever had a?
But I'm definitely vodka tequila girl.
Have you ever had a caipirinha?
I don't think so.
So cachaça is a Brazilian style rum.
Okay.
And it is can be used for a cocktail that's called a caipirinha. and it's considered to be the Brazilian margarita. It's
Ooh.
a very fruity and like herbaceous rum.
I probably like that.
Yes, and it's a very calorie-friendly drink because it only uses a very simple or a very light amount of simple syrup, and then you use the limes. And the lime is actually the most important part of the spirit, and you muddle the limes and put them in there, and then the rum. So it's almost an old-fashioned.
Ooh, yum.
But it's very simple and very delicious. But
Sounds
this
good.
one is going to be a Kentucky gin, which is going to be Castle and Key. And then they also have some lemon in it. And then also the house-made oleosaccharin syrup at West Main. And then the white wine and some soda salt water that I was talking about. So we'll just shake this up a little bit. And Amanda and I are about to enjoy this cocktail by West Main at home.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right?
Oh. Sorry.
That's what this big island is.
Popping
for.
bottles.
Yeah, that's right.
This is probably not as calorie friendly as most of your drinks, Amanda, but
You can always have one.
yes. Oh, well, there's a lot on this.
It looks beautiful. I love it.
It's gonna smell and taste very good, but we've had a few rounds of drinks.
Cheers.
Cheers. Shout out to West
Ooh,
Main for the prescription
love
soda
that.
drink.
That's delicious.
It is really good.
Really good.
Can you not see yourself out there by this beautiful lake just crushing these?
Oh, absolutely. Love that. Very good.
But I really appreciate you coming on. Do you have any tips that people can have as far as just so as we go into the holiday season, we're going to be definitely having more social interactions, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's very important to be conscious of if you're going to be having drinks, if you're not going to be resting as much, if you're not going to be eating as well. What are tips that you can give people to be counteractive towards their immune system being lower during a time when you really, really need it to be high? And can you stress the importance of that and how we can actually control a lot of those things in a lot of ways, I believe, at least.
Yeah, I think people don't consider the impact of stress and recovery on our immune system. We put a lot of emphasis on what we're eating, which is important, you know. And ultimately, that's kind of simple. It's like whole food nutrition, eat a lot of plants, a lot of color, you know, reduce your consumption of processed foods. I think it's all about balance. If I know that I've got a holiday event or like, for example, Thanksgiving's coming up, it might be Thanksgiving already when you see this, but I'm going to plan for that day.
Whoa, you saying I'm slow about getting my comment in? What the heck is that? Was that a jab at me? She's got a few drinks in her and starts jabbing me?
You got a lot of people on your list today, so I might be.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
I might be on the bottom of the totem pole.
Whoa,
but,
no. You're so important to me. You were guest number 2. This is a big deal.
That's right.
Our first time in video, this is a big deal.
It is. So I think it's just like a little bit of planning, you know, thinking ahead. But I also think it's important to make that stress management and recovery really impactful. Here's the thing, like I wear an Oura ring. I don't know if you have like an Apple Watch or any type of recovery. So it's kind of like a Whoop, a Fitbit.
Okay.
It measures your like your
I
heart
guess
rate
it's closer
variability.
to a vein or something?
Yeah,
Okay.
you know, it tracks your steps, your heart rate. It tracks my sleep. And I know the nights that I drink alcohol, my sleep is horrible. Now, I sleep, but the quality of my sleep is much less. And that's really another reason why you can't drink alcohol every day and be successful. So kind of taking those things in consideration. I feel like everyone's stress is really like at an all-time high. There are 2 fat-storing hormones in the body, insulin and cortisol. Insulin's going to be driven by sugar and carbohydrates, the foods that we eat. Cortisol is going to be driven by stress and recovery. So anything that you can do to improve your stress management, whether it be taking a walk, meditation, you know, deep breathing exercises, it matters. It matters. And I really set out at the beginning of November. I was like, what are going to be my 3 main goals for the next month? And stress management and recovery was number 1. And I think a lot of times when people are sitting down thinking about their goals, they immediately want to start with nutrition and exercise. But I recognize that through November and December, my nutritional choices are going to be just a lot more compromised. So why not make stress management and recovery kind of my top priority? Because I know that's really going to help, especially with your immune system. So consider that.
That was an excellent answer. Like, we didn't plan that at all. Like, she just literally came up with that off the top of her head. But thank you so much for coming on.
You're so
Your
welcome.
house is so beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm going to have Amanda give me the recipes for the drinks. I can't give you the recipe for the West Main cocktail. It's a secret. But Amanda, what's some big projects that you have coming up, and where can people reach you?
Well, I'm always working with my clients through my signature program, Lean, Living Energized and Nourished. It's more than a weight loss program. It's a lifestyle program. And with the new year coming up, that's going to be a big push. The first of the year, our first session for 2021 is actually December the 28th. I'm super active
present.
That's right. I'm super active on Instagram like you. I'm all about just providing as much information to people as much as possible. So check me out there, Amanda Nighbert RD. Yeah.
And sounds like someone's about to come in, so I love you all. Thanks to West Main for the cocktail. Thanks to Amanda for coming on my podcast. And if you're listening, thanks for listening. Please subscribe. Please stay safe. Don't do anything dumb this holiday season. Like Amanda said, I don't really know when this is going to be coming out because I don't know how to edit videos very well, so it could take a second. But I love you all so much. And the man of the house just came, so we're really excited for him, Mr. Hunter Nighbert. But thank you all for listening, and have a great day. Don't forget to live the dream.